Welcome to California Wing WMIRS training, how to close your sortie. At this point in your WMIRS training, you should be familiar with how to log into WMIRS, and thus we are in the Air Sortie list screen as part of Mission 19C3544. On the right-hand side of the sortie list, we can see the approval status with a number of approval statuses showing. The first status is complete. This means that the sortie has had all of its debrief information completed. We also have the canceled status, which means this sortie has been canceled. If we continue down, we've got the pending release status, which means that this sortie has been entered but not yet released and may not be flown. And at the very bottom, we have approved and released, which means that this sortie has either about to be flown, has been flown, but has not had its debrief information entered yet. To enter the required debrief information for this sortie, we click on the debrief link on the left-hand side. The next screen to be presented is the Air Sortie debrief screen. To close our sortie, we can start with the Flight Plan Close checkbox. If we had a flight plan, this would be a good reminder to make sure we closed our flight plan. Our actual time of departure was 10, which I've pre-selected. Our actual time of arrival was 12:15. I've entered the Hobbs end and start, which automatically calculates Hobbs total, and I've entered in the TAC end and TAC start, which automatically calculates the total. These next three boxes are generally for missions, and they would like to know how much Hobbs time it took to get from your takeoff location to the search area. In this case, since it was training, I've put in 0. It automatically calculates our Hobbs in area of 1.8. The next section comprises fuel, oil, fuel and oil cost, receipt, and various checkboxes for who paid for this fuel. In this case, since we are using a sea mission in which the member self-paid, we do not click no fuel because we added fuel. We added 6 quarts in this case, 0 oil, and we leave blank fuel and oil cost, receipt, do not check wing paid, do not check NHQ credit card pay, and there is no reimbursement, thus no direct payment to the member, and we do not use a fuel receipt file upload. In the case of a funded mission, we would check no fuel or fuel if we use fuel, put the fuel gallons in, the oils used, the fuel and oil cost from the receipt number, and typically in California Wing, for a funded mission, we would use the National Headquarters credit card found in the aircraft information file in the aircraft. We would leave out reimburse to and direct pay to member because we personally did not pay. In the case of using our own credit card, because the NHQ credit card was not available or not working, we would then click reimburse to California your cap ID and click direct pay to member and then upload the California Wing 14. Now the California Wing 14 creation can be found in another training module in LMS. It is very important to remind all pilots that we never use the National Headquarters credit card or our own credit card and expect to be reimbursed for sea missions. This is any mission that is not funded by the Air Force. If there is any doubt, please ask your squadron operations officer or squadron commander. After completing the fuel, oil, and reimbursement section, if required, we then fill out the following boxes: the summary of our training, the results deliverables, the weather conditions, and the remarks, and finally, the sortie effectiveness. For sortie effectiveness, we're almost always going to select successful. At the end of our completion of this section, we click Update, and this particular sortie will update in the following manner. We then check to make sure that all the information looks correct, and we can go back now to Air Sortie and Air Sortie List, and when the list displays, the status will now change to complete. The final step in closing your WMIRS sortie is to create the electronic 108 or E108. Just a note that this is only for Air Force assigned and funded missions using the National Defense Credit Card or your own personal credit card for a mission that has been approved for you to be funded. A C mission is not approved for funding and reimbursement. Let's select a mission to start. We'll select this mission here. And we'll select Create Electronic 108. If you have not selected a mission first, it'll prompt you to select a mission. We then select the linked box here that says there are 5 air sorties to be reimbursed. We select our sortie, and then we select Submit Electronic 108. That is all there is to it, except for the fact that these are no fuel sorties for your sortie, which you are submitting for fuel. The fuel and oil cost with a link to your submitted California Wing Form 14 will be shown here. This concludes your WMIRS training. Congratulations.